I'm Barbara. Welcome to this week's episode of Craft Corner Kits to Go. Today we are going to make a wrist parakeet. This little guy is made out of a toilet paper craft roll and some bright colorful paper and some feathers. And we use a little bit of craft foam, some Google eyes, and of course the glue dots. So you want to start out, let me take him off so that we can actually make this. You want to start out with a craft roll and a piece of bright, just regular copy paper. Now I've cut this so that it's the right size for the toilet paper roll. And I've got a glue stick. So you want to start it on the craft roll and make it so that you're got a little bit hanging over on both sides. And roll that up. And when you get to the other side, you want to use your glue stick again and roll it up tight. And after you've got it rolled, then take your fingers and push down and fold it in. That will make sure that it stays on the craft roll where you want it. And that's your body of your bird. Now this seam I'm going to try and keep to the back. So everything that we do here, we're going to try and keep the seam to the back. Now I have a piece of bright colored paper that I'm going to use for my head. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a little line of glue, maybe a little L-shaped bit of glue on this. So we're going to start at the back. And we're going to hang over, let's see, we want to hang over just about a ½ inch. And we're going to start here, and we're going to roll up just like we did with the green. And when we get to the other side, we will put some glue on it. So now, this is the back. And I've got a seam here, and my seam doesn't exactly line up, but it's still in the back. So then I'm going to push down on this one so that it stays. So that's the head of my parakeet. Okay? Now, I also have a template that is for the belly of the parakeet and also the beak. So I'm cutting out this rounded piece here, which is the front or the belly of the bird, which is going to be at the front. And I'm going to take another piece of colored paper. I think I'm going to go with the orange. We could do any bright color we want, but I'm going to go with the orange. And I'm cutting around this pattern. So I now have a rounded piece for the belly. And on this one, I'm going to tape it, or I'm going to fasten it to the front. So I'm going to use a little bit of the glue stick. And I'm going to put that on the front of my bird, just maybe less than ½ inch down from the bottom of his head. So here it is. And then we want to take the rest of that and tuck it inside So now my bird has an orange breast, okay? His beak is this, and we're going to cut that out and use that on a piece of craft foam. So I've got his beak cut out, and I'm going to cut it out on this yellow craft foam that was in my kit. So you just cut around your pattern, and then we're going to try and make this be a little bit 3D. So we're going to use some glue dots. And I want to put a glue dot on each side of the beak of the bird. So you'll see I have glue here and here. Now on my bird, I'm going to push down on one side and then kind of bow it a little bit and then push down on the other side. So his beak actually sticks out, okay? Now we're ready for his eyes, which we're also going to use glue dots on. So I'll put one eye on this side of the beak and one eye on this side of the beak. So there we go. All right, and you should have some feathers in your kit. And his top feather is going to go right here. So I want a piece of glue dot, which I'm going to put right between the eyes on the inside. And then I'm going to take my feather and I'm going to fix it so it's just sticking up a little bit. And there I have that. Now for his wings, I got two kind of fluffy feathers that are alike. So I'm going to take my glue dots for that. And it may take more than one, but I'm going to put it at the side of his breast. And then I will lay that wing or that feather on there for a wing. And then I'm going to put another one on the other side of his breast. And we'll put a wing there. So now my bird has wings. Now we're ready for the tail feathers. You should have 3 feathers in your kit. And you need Scotch tape. And the other thing you're going to need is a hole punch. I have also included some green duct tape that we're going to put in your kit, which will help you fasten those feathers when you're ready. But the first thing you want to do is take your feathers and try to get all of these shafts together in the same place. And take some Scotch tape and try to wrap those feathers together. So there. I've got 3 feathers wrapped together, and my intent is to put them at the back of the bird, on his back. So I will take some of this, and what I'm going to try and do is send this home with you by putting it on some wax paper. Hopefully you'll be able to peel it off of the wax paper and use the tape. But if you can't, or if it doesn't work, then just go ahead and use Scotch tape for this. But what I'm doing is I'm taking the green tape and I'm taping down the feathers on the back of the bird. Now I notice that this is not working very well. So what I will do in that instance is take another glue dot and just make it a little bit more secure by gluing it down again. So you can do that. You can use more than one glue dot for your wings. Okay? So our bird is almost done. The only thing you still need to do is fix it so you can put it on your wrist. So with that, you need your hole punch, and you want to go to the sides of the colored paper that's your breast. So go in, go up about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch and punch a hole, and then do the same thing on the other side. Now this is more towards the front because when you put it on your arm, the feathers kind of want to make it lean towards the back, so you want it kind of off center. So after you've punched your holes, you take a pipe cleaner and put it through both sides. And then put it on your wrist and bend them down. And it takes balance. You got to be able to balance your bird on your wrist until you can take both of your pipe cleaner ends and twist them together, or you can have your mom help you. So there you have it. There's my wrist parakeet, and that's it for this week's episode of Craft Corner Kits to Go, and we'll see you next week.